I'm not one to estimate size. That's like 12 inches, right? Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Tactical Review. So I thought I'd take advantage of this unseasonably warm, albeit windy day to get out here to the range and actually put a zero on this 1x32 green dot optic that we talked about last week. Now, we've done some zeroing before, so a lot of this is going to be old hat. I'm going to stick with that 250 meter zero, but I'm going to show you guys maybe a couple of other tricks. A lot of you guys are going to know these, but maybe some of you guys aren't. The first thing we'll be doing is we are going to use these Dynamics 25 meter 50 yard or 25 yard 50 yard zero targets. I've got these linked down in the description below. Hopefully that doesn't violate anything on YouTube. If you're watching on Gunstreamer or BitChute, obviously that won't make any difference. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to go up. I'm hoping to be able to see this bore sight laser at 25 yards, but in the bright sunlight out here, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to at least start to get a rough zero without using any ammunition. We'll kind of look at doing that today. At very least, we're going to head up to around 10 yards and get an x-axis zero, so that we, again, when I zeroed the Terminus Optics TOC1, it took me a couple of magazines before I even got to where I was on one target, and that was with a standard rifle sighting target, not an 8.5 by 11 target from Dynamics. Regardless, cool resource. It's easier to see if you have a color printer. I'm a cheapskate with an old school laser printer, so I don't. Idea's the same. Let's get downrange and start looking at how we're going to set this up. Alright, I'm not sure how clear this is on your screen, because I'm sitting here looking at the camera viewfinder and trying to figure out how clear this is on your screen. And the focus isn't exactly right, but there on the thick black, just to the right of the thick vertical stadia on the zeroing target, you can see a faint pink dot. Now obviously you see the big green blob far off to the right. So, and we're up here at about 7 yards, 5 to 7 yards. So as you can imagine, I would be very far off the paper had I tried to start with just firing rounds on paper. So we're going to bring that over until our left to right is more or less set. And then for our top to bottom, because we're so close, I'm going to have to go back and actually start putting rounds towards the target. Alright, given the 1-in-7 twist on this particular rifle, which is going to like slightly heavier ammunition, I've opted to do my zeroing with M855 ball. Again, I don't know. It was just a thing I decided to do. This is a slightly heavier projectile than the 55 grain Wolf, which will be the normal diet of this particular rifle. But it seemed like I should give the best stabilization possible. Oh, and one last thing I forgot to mention is that now that I've had this optic out on the range and had a chance to compare with the 2 MOA center dot on my Holosun on my pistol, kind of surprised nobody said anything about it on the unboxing video, but I think this is probably actually a 6 MOA dot. Big difference there. presumably my left or right is on, but my vertical is excessively off to the point that I didn't even hit. Obviously I was aiming here, and the goal is you aim here, you hit here at 25 yards, and then you should be dead on at 50, and I need more targets. Hey, that's a result. All right, so that's our first group. So we need to go down a lot. I mean, a lot. And this optic doesn't have any documentation with it. So, by guess and by golly, I also need to go back right several clicks. But I know which way that is. I may not have gone the right way with the windage. We'll check. The center of this group vertically is more or less where I want it. More or less. Yes, it's not a pretty group. I was going the correct way at first with my windage, second guessed myself, and as you see I've drifted further to the left. Fortunately I'm still on paper. Let's go correct that, hopefully before we run out of M855, or I'm going to be redoing all of this with steel case and c'est la vie. I mean, if I was a better shooter, I'd close that group up, but all things considered, I'm fairly happy with that. Not even gonna lie. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go put several mags of standard steel case through this over on the 100-yard range, and just gonna put some recoil stress on the optic, and then we're gonna come back over here with M855 and see if we're more or less holding zero. All right, again, we're getting ready to put 4 full mags through this. This isn't about heat stressing the barrel. This is about recoil stressing the optic to see if we hold zero. So yeah, let's put some rounds downrange. Well, was only 120 rounds, so obviously we'll be putting more stress on it than that, but within that it at least didn't shift away from a minute of man accuracy. Let's head back over to the 25-yard range and see if we've had any significant point of impact shift. Alright, it's been around 15 minutes since we did those mag dumps. I guess they're probably quick enough to be almost called mag dumps. I cannot tell you how hot the barrel got because I don't have a nifty infrared thermometer. If you'd like to send me one, you can do that. If you'd yeah, we'll talk about all that later. Anyway, I don't have a nifty infrared thermometer. I can tell you it was hot enough that in no way would you want to do this. So as you can see, it has cooled down. It's still warm, but I'm in no discomfort. As a matter of fact, that feels pretty good out here. And why does that matter? Why do you care? Well, what I did is there's a round in the chamber right now. Now you notice I'm keeping the barrel pointed in a more or less safe direction. The reason I did that is because I've had some folks asking me about shooting steel case. And I have not had any issues shooting steel case aside from some keyholing out of a few random rounds of the Wolf steel case ball ammunition in 55 grain out of my M&P 15. I had somebody tell me that they had heard that if you had a weapon get hot, such as you would in a firefight. Now, I don't know that 120 rounds that I put down range was anything close to the cadence of a firefight. I've been blessed to never be on a two-way range. So, anyway, that said, the weapon got good and hot. And now I have left a steel case ammunition in the chamber while it cooled. And I was informed that had a potential of locking up the weapon. So this is a little off topic, but let's see right now together. Ejected just fine. There you have it. So in this single zero blind experiment, I had no problem extracting the round that was in the chamber, and it's not even warm at this point. So anyway, on to the task at hand. We're going to put three more rounds towards the target and see if we had a significant zero shift from those first 120 rounds on this zeroed optic. Well, it was a better group than what I was getting before, but that's pretty significant. Shifted pretty far to the right and about an equal amount up. Okay, well, you guys watched when I unboxed and mounted that I Loctited every place that we could have some that we'd have some mechanical joining failures. So Mark 18 Mod 0, we're going to keep an eye on this, but based on today's experiments, I call this an airsoft quality optic. Time will tell. I will, once we start actually putting cases at a time through it, I will zero it at the beginning of a case, and then we will test that. We'll just check the zero every now and again through the course of a case to break up the monotony of those videos as we get going. So, yeah. I'm kind of surprised by this because the Terminus optic seems to hold zero better than that. The Terminus optic is also an etched reticle, not an emitter, so that might have something to do with it. So guys, there you have it. It looks like it doesn't want to hold zero. Let me know in the comments if you think there's something that I should have done differently in this testing. I know that with actual ACOGs, there's something about needing to slap it to get it to hold zero. So communicate with me here. We'll see if we can't figure out what's going on. If nothing else, it is minute of man accurate right now. We will see if that continues to shift and slide. But minute of man accurate may or may not be enough for your uses. And again, this is a rifle that's made, that I have put together to be abused. So having a $40 optic on here doesn't bother me. If it's a life and liberty gun, guys, I'm gonna say step up to an EOTech or even a Vortex. Yes, I know you're looking at 6 times the cost, but my life and my family's life is worth more than $40. Guys, I appreciate you joining me here today. If you want to help support the channel, you can do that over on Patreon. That link's on your screen right now. That will help buy the ammunition that we send downrange, different things that we want to test, more viewer request stuff. If you'd like to help support the channel, but you're not in a financial situation, you can share the video. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that notification bell so you can see when I've uploaded new content. Make sure you check out the channel over on social media. We have all sorts of extra discussion. You'll see a little bit more political stuff sometimes. Anytime I see something pertinent to us and our Second Amendment rights, I try to get that shared there. Occasional deals, things like that. Mr. Guns and Gear has us covered on that oftentimes, but I try to reshare that stuff. If I can save you money, I'd like to help you do that. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for this first year of support. Until next time, shoot straight, stay safe.